गुड आफ्टरनून सभी को। स्वागत है आपका हमारे यूट्यूब चैनल इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे जिसका नाम है 1 मार्क सोल्यूशन। और जैसा कि आप सभी जानते हैं कि हमारे साथ लगातार इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे डिफरेंट सब्जेक्ट्स के डिफरेंट गेस्ट जो हमारे साथ एक्सपर्ट्स जो जुड़ते आते हैं और हमारे साथ सब्जेक्ट्स के जो पीपीटी रहते हैं उनको शेयर करते हैं, हम आपके साथ डिस्कस करते हैं। सब्जेक्ट्स के जो एमसीक्यू बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस रहते हैं जो आजकल सीबीएसई ने इंट्रोड्यूस किए हैं, तो जो 1 मार्क्स के क्वेश्चंस रहते हैं उनको यहाँ पे डिस्कस किया जाता है। तो आज मैं स्वागत करना चाहती हूँ, हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म पे आज हैं कंचना मैम, जी कंचना मैम, जो कि पीजीटी मैम आपका मोस्ट वेलकम है हमारे इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे। और मैम पीजीटी बायोलॉजी हैं, श्री स्वामी इंटरनेशनल स्कूल सलेम तमिलनाडु में। और मैम ने मैम को 8 इयर्स का काफ़ी लंबा एक्सपीरियंस है मैम को। मैम ने एमएससी एमफिल माइक्रोबायोलॉजी में किया हुआ है। मैम ने पीजी स्टूडेंट्स को भी एज ए असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर गाइड किया हुआ है। तो मैम को काफ़ी अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस है और मैम अपने पीपीटी के थ्रू आपको बहुत अच्छा आज प्रेजेंटेशन देने वाली हैं। चैप्टर है हमारा क्लास 12 के लिए बायोलॉजी माइक्रोब्स इन ह्यूमन वेलफेयर। तो आप लास्ट तक बने रहिए इस वेबिनार में और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए जिससे कि आपको जो भी अपकमिंग वेबिनार्स होंगे उसके अपडेट्स आपको मिलते रहेंगे। तो जो भी हमारे व्यूवर्स हैं उनको मैं बोलना चाहती हूँ कि आप अपने फ्रेंड्स को, जो भी रिलेटिव्स हैं, उनको शेयर कर दीजिए जिससे कि वो घर बैठे ही उनको यहाँ पे जो भी एमसीक्यू बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस हैं वो उनको देखने को मिल जाएंगे। तो और लास्ट में मैं फीडबैक फॉर्म शेयर करूंगी यहाँ पे लाइव कमेंट बॉक्स में, जो कि आपको फिल करना रहेगा, जिसमें अगर आप 10 क्वेश्चंस रहेंगे, अगर आप उसमें 4 क्वालिफाई करते हैं देन आपको एक सर्टिफिकेट भी इशू होगा आपके मेल आईडी पे। तो मैं अभी आपको मैम को हैंड ओवर करना चाहती हूँ। मैम प्लीज़ यू कैरी ऑन।
Examinations. So now in this session, we are going to discuss the 1 mark questions from the chapter 10, that is about microbes in human welfare. So we'll see about that. You people already would have gone through that. Microbes are being much helpful in human welfare in various other branches, like it is also being helpful in household. It's being helpful in various other industries too, like that of the one in especially in the medicines, etc. So we know about the useful nature of microorganisms in various other industries, in household, etc. So we'll see about the 1 marks which we are going to deal with now. So you would have gone through these particular topics in the lesson. That is the use of microorganisms in household, okay, in food processing. Then the industrial production, how microorganisms are helpful in industrial production, and also in sewage treatment.
Hello, ma'am, sorry to interrupt you,
Yes.
but please your slide mode. PPT.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, I can't understand.
मैम उसको स्लाइड मोड पे कर दीजिए।
Yes, ma'am. Now is it okay, ma'am?
No, ma'am.
Just a minute.
Ma'am, close this and click on the first one from beginning. First one.
Okay.
Yeah, now the first one from beginning. Upar. The first one from beginning.
Slide mode.
From beginning.
Yeah. You can see the menu. No, you can see the menu. Yeah, this one. First close this one. Yeah,
Yes.
now okay, done.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay, so as I already told, now we are going to see about the use of microbes in household, that is food processing, and also in industrial production. Then their usefulness in sewage treatment, energy generation, and also microbes where they are used as biocontrol agents and biofertilizers. And we also very well know about the use of microorganisms in antibiotics. So we will concentrate on the same. So first in part 1, we are going to see about the multiple choice questions. Milk, which is converted to curd by lactic acid bacilli, it has which one of the following vitamins? Okay, so questions will be like this. We'll be getting options like this. You have to choose the correct one in that. So the answer for this, it is vitamin B12. The next one, the puffed up appearance of bread is due to the presentation of dash gas. So we have to analyze it is which gas, think it and write it out, which we know it as CO2. Traditional drink of South India made by fermenting sap from palm plants. Okay, it is what? So that is the question. So we have to choose the correct answer from this. So the answer is toddy. Then the specificity of different varieties of cheese. Okay, we know that the cheese, it gets its different varieties due to a specific microbe. Okay, so we have to think and answer the correct thing. Then the proteinaceous infectious agents are, so if the choices are given like this, a little bit we might get confused, but always we have to be very careful in choosing the correct answer. So the correct one is that of the one called as prions. So next, in Swiss cheese, holes are present because of a bacterium. So we have to answer it is which bacterium. The answer for that one is Propionibacterium. So while talking about the antibiotics, we know about the work of Alexander Fleming, the scientist. So Alexander Fleming observed a mold in his culture plates while working on dash. So the name of the mold, we know it very well. And on working upon which organism he found out this also, we know it very well. So we have to think it and answer the correct one as Staphylococci. So while working on Staphylococci only, he came to know about this Penicillium notatum. So we have to answer it correctly. The next one is the scientists who were awarded Nobel Prize for penicillin discovery or dash. So carefully we have to recall what we have revised, children. So now if you see the names of the scientists they have given, we know that the correct answer is Fleming, Chain and Florey. Now the uses of microorganisms in various other industries. So the products has been given and questions will be addressed by asking which are the microorganisms that are helpful in producing these products. Okay, so the first one, citric acid is produced by dash. So we have to answer the correct one and the answer is Aspergillus niger. The following organism is a fungi. So since we are reading about microbes in this lesson, we should not be confused with various other forms like bacteria, fungi, protozoa and virus. So we have to recall the correct thing and answer aptly. So the answer, which one is the fungi? If you see, the answer is Aspergillus. Then which one of the following is not a biofertilizer? Usually children, if a question is asked like this, we have to go through the question twice. So here the question is which one of the following is not a biofertilizer? So you have to find out the correct one as agrobacterium. You know the rest of the things that is the rhizobium, nostoc and mycorrhiza are used as biofertilizers. So the answer is agrobacterium. Organisms called methanogens are most abundant in a dash. So in which forms? So here you have to avoid out the wrong answers. If we even if we know the correct answer, we have to go through the options once and correct the correct one. Select the correct one. So the answer is cattle yard. Then we know about the biofertilizers utilization and how it is acting, the mechanism too. So here the question is nitrifying bacteria. Okay, what does it do? So if you see all the options, the option D, that is oxidize ammonia to nitrates, is the apt one. So that is the answer. Next, which one of the following microbes forms symbiotic association with plants and helps them in their nutrition? So we know very well that it is the glomus. Okay, the association of the glomus, we know it very well, how it is forming the symbiotic association along with that of the plants. So that is the answer. Then about the biogas. So biogas, it is mainly formed of what? Okay, we know all the other gases which is present in biogas too, but the main thing, okay, mainly it is formed of methane. So the answer is CH4. Methanogens belong to which of the category given below? Okay, so we know very well that it is archaebacteria. Then the antibiotic penicillin is produced from a fungus. And the name of the fungus, you know it very well, that it is Penicillium notatum. Microbial biocontrol agent for butterfly caterpillar is what? Okay, so when we are reading about the microbial biocontrol agents, children, we have to be very careful in knowing about the particular pest and which one is going to act against it. Okay, so for this question, the answer is Bacillus thuringiensis. Next, which of the following is included in bioinsecticide? So we have gone through many other biofertilizers and we also know about the organisms which are included in the bioinsecticide category. So here the answer is the one we see about fungus, bacteria and virus. Okay. So the next question is, okay, here the answer is Bacillus thuringiensis. Okay. For this, which of the following is included in the bioinsecticide category? The answer is virus. And process 2. So here if we recall, in this anaerobic sludge digesters, the particular type of gas produced is methane, hydrogen sulfide and CO2. Primitive prokaryotes responsible for the production of biogas from the dung of ruminant animals. It includes what? Okay, so now we might have clearly known it. Okay, so the answer is methanogens. Such type of questions are also being asked in board exams, children. So be very careful in going through the questions twice and answering it correctly. Methanogen do not produce. Okay, here the methanogen, it does not produce what? Okay, so it does not produce oxygen. Then now we have discussed about MCQs. Now you would have got a knowledge of how to attend MCQs on this particular topic. Okay. One, butyric acid, it is produced by which organism? Okay, so the clue also it's given here, by which bacterium. So the answer is Clostridium butylicum. Then Acetobacter aceti, it produces what acid? Okay, that is the next fill in the blank. So the answer for that is acetic acid. And for such kind of questions and answers, children, you can get the clue from the question itself. So Acetobacter aceti, it is producing acetic acid. Dash is the yeast which is used to produce ethanol. Okay, this you commonly know it very well. So the name of the yeast is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Dash and dash are produced by distillation of fermented broth. So while we are seeing about the various fermented broths, especially the beverages, you would have gone through all the kinds like wine, beer, brandy, whiskey and all. So you have to recollect which one is produced by distillation of fermented broth. Okay, so which is produced by distillation of fermented broth are whiskey, brandy and also rum. Okay, so whiskey and brandy is the answer. The microbial enzyme used in detergent formulations are dash. Okay, you have to recall what are all the various enzymes produced by the microorganism and each and every enzyme which is used in which particular branches. So here if you see the microbial enzyme used in detergent formulations are lipases. Bottled juices are clarified by dash microbial enzymes. So the bottled juices are being clarified. Okay, for that a particular microbial enzyme is used and the name of the enzyme is pectinase. So pectinases are the enzymes. Dash is a modified microbial enzyme which is used as a clot buster. Okay, so the microbes also secrete enzymes which is being widely used in the area of medicine too. So here if you see the enzyme which is used as a clot buster is streptokinase. Okay, this is the one which is modified by using the genetic engineering techniques. You would have learned about that very well, and it is being produced by the organism, that is the bacterium Streptococcus. So the name of the enzyme is streptokinase. Then about the bioactive molecules which is produced by the microorganisms also you would have read, children. These particular things, it can be asked even in the form of the tabular columns where you have to think logically and answer the correct thing. Okay, so the alphabets or the numbers would have been given in the place of the particular thing, a substance or even an organism. So you have to find out the correct one and write the thing. So you have to recollect each and everything what you have read carefully. So the cyclosporin A, it is produced by a fungus called as Trichoderma polysporum. Then a bioactive molecule which is produced by yeast. Okay, so you have to recollect that it is statin. The organism Monascus purpurus, it produces statin. Okay, just now we saw about the same. So this is used as what? Okay, it is being used as blood cholesterol lowering agent. Okay, so this is the use of the organism's particular thing called as Monascus purpurus, which produces the particular bioactive molecule called as statin, and it is being used as a blood cholesterol lowering agent. The next one, the biocontrol agent used to get rid of aphids, mosquitoes are dash and dash. Okay, so when questions are asked like this, children, you have to concentrate on what are the particular pests and which biocontrol agent is acting against that. Okay, so here the biocontrol agent which is used to get rid of aphids and mosquitoes are ladybird and dragonflies. Okay, so these are the ones. The pests are the aphids and mosquitoes, and the biocontrol agent that we are going to concentrate here is the ladybird and the dragonflies. Ladybird and dragonflies are used to get rid of what and what. Okay, the same question can be asked in such a form also. So then you have to be very clear that they are nothing but the aphids and mosquitoes. Just now we saw what are the pests. Okay, and which agents are acting as the biocontrol agent too. So the answer is aphids and mosquitoes. Then Bacillus thuringiensis. So this Bacillus thuringiensis, it is used on what? Okay, so what kind of pest it's being used on? It protects which kind of plants? Okay, so here the answer is brassica and fruit trees. So Bacillus thuringiensis, it is used on these kinds of plants, brassica and fruit trees. The next one is one example of a plant into which the Bt toxin genes are introduced. Okay, so we have to remember the name of the plant that is given. Okay, into which this Bacillus thuringiensis toxins genes are introduced. So it is nothing but the Bt cotton. Okay, cotton plant. Then baculoviruses. So baculoviruses are in the genus called as nucleopolyhedrovirus. The next one, full form for IPM. So the full form for IPM is Integrated Pest Management. We also read about certain symbiotic relationships. So the symbiotic bacteria which fixes atmospheric nitrogen or dash and dash. Okay, now when we are reading about the particular symbiotic relationships, we have to recall the correct one that we have revised. So they are the Azotobacter and Azospirillum. Okay, so you read about various kinds of bacterium and you have to recall the correct one, which is acting as the symbiotic bacteria which is fixing the atmospheric nitrogen. Okay, so they are the Azotobacter and Azospirillum. And the symbiotic association of fungi with plants. Okay, so the symbiotic association of the fungi with that of the plants is called as mycorrhiza. Members of the genus dash forms mycorrhiza. Okay, so which members of the particular genus they form mycorrhiza? If you see, it is of the members of the genus Glomus. The fungal symbiont in mycorrhiza absorbs what? Okay, it absorbs dash from soil and gives it to the plant. So it is absorbing which kind of nutrient? If you see, it is nothing but the phosphorus. So when you are always concentrating on nitrogen, you have to recollect about the other nutrients too. So the fungal symbiont in mycorrhiza, it absorbs phosphorus from the soil and it gives to the plant. So BGA, you know very well that it is the blue-green algae. BGA fixing atmospheric nitrogen in plants are Anabaena and Nostoc. Cyanobacteria, it acts as an important biofertilizer in what kind of fields? Okay, so usually it is acting as a biofertilizer in paddy fields. Okay, so paddy is the answer. The institutions in India that develop the technology of biogas production are dash and dash. So which are the institutions? If you recall the correct thing, you might get the answers as IARI and KVIC. So IARI means Indian Agricultural Research Institute and KVIC is nothing but the Khadi Village Industries Commission. So these are the institutions which are present in India that has developed the technology of this biogas productions. Even it has made it reachable in the villages and it is applicable and also available in many of the areas nowadays. The plans that the Ministry of Environment and Forest has initiated to save the rivers of our country from pollution or dash and dash. So this kinds of questions you have to recollect it correctly, children. So we know what are the plans. They are nothing but the GAP and the YAP called as Ganga Action Plan and Yamuna Action Plan. Okay, so we have read about these plans which talks about the rivers. Okay, we have to save the rivers. In order to save the rivers, how the sewage water can be treated. Okay, so these plans are going to concentrate on that and already it's being useful in such the process only. So we have come to the end of the fill in the blanks. Now in part 3, we are going to see about the assertion and reason. Okay, so assertion and reason is also an area in which you have to concentrate. So whenever we are seeing about the assertion and reasons, children, 4 options will be given like this. Always you know that in the assertion a particular fact will be given. Okay, so here you can see that a lactobacillus lactis is the only organism which causes curdling of milk is given. And in reason, okay, as the word tells about the word definition, that is the meaning for reason is that it is going to support the assertion. So if the assertion is being supported by the reason, then you can answer the apt one as given in the options. So the reason here is only these bacteria can produce lactic acid. So the first option, usually in A, it is if both the assertion and reason are true and reason is correct explanation of the assertion. Okay, so you have to answer A only if both assertion and the reason are true and the reason should be the correct explanation of the assertion. Okay, the option B, it is telling that if both assertion and reason are true, but the reason is not the correct explanation of the assertion. Okay, so if both the reason and assertion are true, but the reason that is cited here in the question, if it is not correct explanation of the assertion, then you have to give the answer as B. Then for C, if assertion is true but reason is false. Okay, and the last one, if both the assertion and reason are false, then you have to cite that correctly, children. So you have to go through the assertion and reason questions very carefully and then answer the question by choosing the correct option. So here they are telling that Lactobacillus lactis is the only organism which causes curdling of milk, and reason it is given as only these bacteria can produce lactic acid. We know very well that it is not so. Okay, so Lactobacillus is a group, and this Lactobacillus lactis is a particular kind of a species in Lactobacillus genus, and that is wrong. So if both assertion and reason are false, we can give the option as D as given here. And we also very well know that only these kind of bacteria cannot produce lactic acid. Other species belonging to the genus Lactobacillus also are capable to do so. So the answer is option B. The next assertion and reason. So an assertion, it is given as Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin, and the reason, Fleming was working on Penicillium notatum along with Staphylococcus. Okay, so you know the options given in A, B, C and also D, and the answer is if assertion is true and reason is false. Okay, so Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin is what all of us know, but the reason what they have given for that, that is Fleming was working on Penicillium notatum along with Staphylococcus is wrong. Is it not, children? We know very well that while Fleming was working with Staphylococcus only, he came to accidentally that too, he came to find out that this fungi called as Penicillium notatum is an antibiotic. Okay, in those areas, Staphylococcus would have not grown. That clear zone would have been found out by the scientist Alexander Fleming. So the answer is option C. Next one, assertion. The use of chemical fertilizers has contributed significantly to pollution. Okay, so now we understood the assertion, and the reason is there are problems associated with overuse of chemical fertilizers to human and animals. Okay, so in the assertion they have given a fact, and the reason supports the fact too. Okay, so the answer will be option A. That is, if both assertion and reason are true, and the reason is the correct explanation of the assertion. Okay, so the chemical fertilizers uses, it is causing pollution, and the problems associated with that, no, which is caused due to the chemical fertilizers, it really causes impacts, okay, on human and animals. So the answer is A, option A. The next one, the assertion is BOD indicates the extent of water pollution by organic wastes. So we know about the biochemical oxygen demand. It indicates the extent of water pollution by organic waste. Then the reason, increase in BOD decreases dissolved oxygen of wastewater. So here the answer is option B. That is, both assertion and reason are true, but the reason is not the correct explanation. Okay, we know very well that increase in the BOD decreases dissolved oxygen of wastewater is not the correct reason for the assertion given. Next one, the assertion is nucleopolyhedrovirus is called a baculovirus, and the reason is nucleopolyhedrovirus is employed to control bacteria. Okay, we know very well that the nucleopolyhedrovirus is employed to control the insects, okay, coming under the arthropods. So the answer is the assertion is true and the reason is false. That is the option C. So you have to think the correct thing, children. Recall what you have read correctly and then answer the correct one. So next we are going to see about the short answers. So you can also expect very short answers, okay, for which 1 mark can be given, and you can answer that as the word tells us, short answer. Okay, so what are the main steps carried out in the primary sewage treatment? So we know about the various concepts. Okay, so whenever we are reading a particular topic, we have to understand the concept and try to answer from those concepts. So in the sewage treatment, we know about the various treatments called as primary treatment, secondary, and also tertiary treatments. So what are the main steps carried out in the primary sewage treatment, and how can this question be answered when it is asked in a very short answer? So for this, we can tell about the two main processes called as filtration and sedimentation. So the next one, what are flocks? Okay, so now we have understood what happens in the primary treatment. Then we have to recall what we have read in the secondary treatment and how flocks are formed over there. So we know that flocks are nothing but the masses of bacteria which is associated with fungal filaments to form mesh-like structures. Okay, during the secondary treatment, when the aerobic microorganisms are forming these flocks, we know about them. Okay, so these flocks are nothing but the masses of bacteria which is associated with fungal filaments to form mesh-like structures. Then what is BOD? So the apt answer is BOD is measure of organic matter present in water. Okay, that is called as the biochemical oxygen demand. What is biogas? So a biogas is a mixture of gases which is produced by the microbial activity and used as a fuel. Okay, this is a very common thing that you know very well. What does the word biocontrol mean? So the word biocontrol, it refers to the use of the biological methods. Okay, whenever you see the word bio which is being connected with the other word, you have to recall that it utilizes the biological methods. Okay, so here it is used for controlling the plant diseases and also the pests which interfere with that of the plants. Then what are biofertilizers? Since we know about the nature of the chemical fertilizers and why we have shifted on to the use of organic farming or using biofertilizers, we know about the correct thing. But since we are going to answer for the very short answers, we have to be very careful in choosing the keywords. Okay, you have to correctly choose the key terms. So the answer is biofertilizers or organisms that enrich the nutrient quality of soil. Okay, the word organism and also the words nutrient quality of soil are all very important. So you have to answer the one word as we have seen now. So now we are going to see about the true or false. So as I told you already, while answering the true or false, you always be very careful in observing all the words given in the sentence very correctly. So here, methanogens are aerobic bacteria producing methane as metabolic byproduct is given as a sentence. And we know very well that it is false because we know that methanogens are anaerobic bacteria producing methane as metabolic byproducts. Okay. So you have to go through that correctly and answer it correctly, children. Then the next one, the gases that forms biogas are methane, hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide. Yeah, so we know about biogas and also the various thing which is being present as biogas. So the statement is true. The next one, an anaerobic sludge or tanks with anaerobic bacteria which doesn't digest fungi and bacteria. Okay, so we very well, we have to analyze this sentence. We know that it is not correct. So it is false. So what is the correct answer for that? Anaerobic sludge or tanks with anaerobic bacteria which will digest, okay, which concentrates in digesting the fungi and bacteria. So this is the correct answer. Next one, flocks are formed during the primary sewage treatment. Just now we saw about the detail of flock, so the sentence is wrong. Flocks are formed during the secondary sewage treatment only. So that is the correct answer. Next one, after primary sewage treatment, the solids settle as primary sludge. Okay, this is the statement. So the sentence is correct. The answer is true. After the primary sewage treatment, the solids will settle as the sludge and this we call it as primary sludge. Okay, this is how we have to answer the part that we have discussed now. Now we are going to see about the part 5, where we are going to see about match the following. Okay, we are going to match the words given in the column. So you can see the columns given here as column 1 and column 2. So for the first one, citric acid, we are going to see the correct answer. The second one is yeast, third one is fungi, fourth is streptokinase, and fifth is bottled juices. We have to match the correct answers with that of the one given in the next column. That is A, statin, B, clotbuster, C, pectinase, D, cyclosporin A, and E, aspergillus. Okay, so the answers are given here. Citric acid, it is being produced by the aspergillus niger fungi. So we are going to match the correct one with that. Next one, yeast, it is producing a bioactive molecule called as statin. Then fungus can be matched with cyclosporin A. And then streptokinase, it is a clot buster, and we have seen about that too. Then bottled juices, they are being clarified by using the enzyme produced by the bacterium called as pectinase. Okay, the organisms are producing these enzymes called as pectinase. So these are the correct answers which we have matched correctly. So always concentrate on the correct thing, children, and match it correctly too. We'll see about the next question in the match the column. So here in one side we see about the detergents, rum, baker's yeast, butyric acid, and propionibacterium. So we have to match this with the column 2 correctly, where they have given the things like in A, Swiss cheese, in B, Saccharomyces, C, lipase, and D, Clostridium. And also E is distillation. So for detergents, we are going to match the lipase. Okay, the enzyme produced by the microorganism called as lipase. It is used in detergent formulation, what we know very well. Okay, it takes out the grease which is present in that oily nature. So it is used as a detergent. Then for rum, we use distillation method. Okay, after distillation, rum is being produced. And we very well know that the baker's yeast, which is used in the production of duffs and also various other beverages, it is nothing but the Saccharomyces. Then the butyric acid is produced by Clostridium genus. So Clostridium butylicum, it produces the butyric acid. Then the propionibacterium is the organism which causes holes in the Swiss cheese, okay, due to the production of the carbon dioxide. So here we have matched the correct answers. For detergents, we'll be matching it with lipase. For rum, it is distillation. Then for baker's yeast, it is Saccharomyces, butyric acid, Clostridium, and propionibacterium, Swiss cheese. Okay, so these are the answers as given here. So children, we have seen some of the questions which is going to really help you for your board exams. Hope you prepare all these things in a very neat way. All the best, children. Thank you, everyone. Go through the concepts correctly and attend your exams well. All the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kanchana ma'am, for this beautiful presentation. और आई होप कि व्यूवर्स को भी बच्चों जो हमारे बच्चे देख रहे हैं उसको पीपीटी देखी होगी तो उनको भी बहुत अच्छे से क्लियर हो गए होंगे सारे एमसीक्यूज और आपने बहुत अच्छे से एक्सप्लेनेशन दिया और मैं फीडबैक फॉर्म यहाँ पे डाल रही हूँ लाइव कमेंट बॉक्स में और आप उसको जरूर फिल कर दीजिए और मैं व्यूवर्स से बोलना चाहती हूँ आप इसको चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए जिससे कि आपको जो भी अपकमिंग जो भी हमारे नए वेबिनार या शाम को भी 5 बजे मैथमेटिक्स का है तो आपको उसके अपकमिंग जो भी वेबिनार्स रहेंगे उनके अपडेट्स मिलते रहेंगे तो थैंक यू सो मच मैम मैंने फीडबैक फॉर्म डाल दिया है पेस्ट कर दिया है फिर कमेंट बॉक्स में आप उसको फिल कर दीजिए और आपको एक सर्टिफिकेट इशू हो जाएगा अगर आप उसमें 40% मार्क्स क्वालिफाई करते हैं थैंक यू सो मच
Okay, thank you.